The last thing we want is to see another meltdown in government. We had meltdowns under the former government. It was, frankly, a bit embarrassing. It wasn't right. It wasn't good for our country, and I think it's very important that we avoid that with this government. That said, obviously, it's a pretty chastening experience to have a spill motion moved on you after just 16 months in government. A very chastening experience, and I am determined that my government, if it continues after tomorrow, will learn from this experience, will be different and better this year than we were in every respect last year.
Prime Minister, this is already embarrassing. You already look like the Labor Party to everyone perhaps but you.
No, when you roll a Prime Minister, you look like the Labor Party.
That could happen?
It could. Obviously, I respect the party room. I absolutely respect the party room, and the party room will be getting a secret ballot tomorrow, so that the result tomorrow will be something that accurately reflects views inside the party room.
But if you're binding ministers, which it appears you are, then it doesn't accurately reflect everyone's view, because 35 votes are already in the can, aren't they?
Well, it's entirely up to ministers and parliamentary secretaries how they vote.
So you think they should have a free vote?
Well, it is a secret ballot. Now, I would expect that if a minister was incapable of supporting the government, the minister in question would have spoken to me, and none of them have. But nevertheless, this is an opportunity for people to do what they genuinely believe is right for the government and for the country.
Now, you've said that you're chastened, that you've learned from this experience. Are you bargaining for votes? Have you offered Senator Sean Edwards from South Australia an open tender for the subs contract, which would be a change of policy?
No. What we have always intended to have is a competitive evaluation process. That's what we've always intended to have.
But we didn't know that until today.
Well, we are still a long way from doing this. I mean, the decision on this needs to be made by the end of the year, I would say, at the latest. But nevertheless, it is something which is still evolving, as you'd expect.
That's a $40 billion bargain you've just struck, isn't it?
Well, no. You would expect the Australian government to want to get the best value. You would expect the Australian government to want to get the best product, and you would expect the Australian government to give Australian suppliers a fair go.
Aren't we seeing the rather terrifying and dispiriting side of a Prime Minister bargaining for his life, and not even just for his life, but just for some more time?
No, what you are seeing is the democratic process in action. This is, and has always been, a consultative and collegial government, but it will be a more consultative and collegial government in the future than it's been in the past.
Why don't your colleagues believe that?
Well, we will see tomorrow what my colleagues believe, but what I'm saying to them is that the last thing our country needs right now is to see another government go into meltdown. We had that twice under Labor. We had that in Labor's first term. We had that in Labor's second term. Our country deserves better, and that's what I'm determined to give them.
How can you move on from here? Aren't you mortally wounded after this, and in time the dogs will bring you down?
Chris, I've already indicated at the press club this week how things will be different and better.
And you're giving up on financial reform?
That's not true. The paid parental leave scheme is gone. Prime Ministerial knighthoods are gone. There will be a move on Hizbat Tahrir in coming weeks. We will be bringing down a stronger scrutiny and enforcement of the rules against foreign investment in residential property as well as agricultural land. So things are changing. The focus this year will be jobs, families, a strong economy and a secure nation.
Well, finally, won't the focus this year be on your leadership, and shouldn't you consider tendering your resignation?
Well, I accept that all Prime Ministers are, in a sense, on probation. That's the way it's always been. But obviously, the wood will be on me to perform. It will be even more on me to perform in the future than it's been in the past, but I will not let this country down, and I will not let my party down.